And that's what I like about, gym and running. And, everyone starts at the bottom, it's hard, like being unhealthy is hard and being healthy is hard. But one gets easier and one just gets harder. BODGAST. BODGAST.
What's up, Vibers? Welcome to episode 6 of the BODGAST. My name is Dr. Fresh, aka Formati Fresh, and this week's podcast is proudly brought to you by Impact Hub South Waikato on Mannering Street. You'll see their details at the bottom of the screen. Well, this week, my guest, we're sticking to that female theme. My guest this week is a mum who loves challenges, who is very determined and is freakingly fit, very fit. Her name, ladies and gentlemen, episode 6 on the BODGAST is Bartie. Hey, Nick.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm real awesome. I'm
nice.
feeling
That's nice.
Fantastically fine, eh?
Cool.
Thank you for joining us this week on the BODGAST.
No, thank you for having me.
A pleasure to have you. You're feeling a little bit nervous?
I am very nervous, yeah.
That's all right. Like they do in the in the Warriors, I think they do those deep breath things. Never seems to work though. They've done it for years, eh?
Yeah.
So maybe I want to tell you to do that. That might not work. But anyway, this is a safe space, Nick.
Cool.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, all right?
Cool. I love a safe space.
Yes, so do I. So does our producer. He loves a safe space as well. Episode 6 of the BODGAST. Hey, this female thing. 2 females, 2 weeks in a row. I must be doing something right, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I think the females in this town are pretty amazing, so why not? We should have another 2 more weeks of females.
I love it. I love it. Anyway, let's talk about you. First and foremost, before we get into what we normally do on the BODGAST, I just want to ask you, last year you were involved with co-creatives. Mm-hmm. You were one of them. Just tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved, what it took, etc., and we'll go from there.
Cool. Well, actually, my first kind of introduction to co-creators was through a friend of mine, Te Ahua, actually. She did mention it to me and said that for her, probably wouldn't, she didn't see her creative as a business, but I kind of had a look at it and I was a bit like, I've dabbled a little bit with my creative side, and then I thought maybe, this is good timing for me, I should just give it a go. I read through the info on the South Waikato Impact Hub Instagram page. I followed the link and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I signed up, didn't even read any of the program, didn't know it was going to be a 12-week program, didn't know the participation it required. I just thought this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm just going to do it. Yeah, and I did it. Yeah,
just did it.
I think the push on the social media from Impact Hub was quite good. Once I got on there and had a good read and saw the promotion and marketing that they were doing, I was like, oh, okay. I don't see why any creative out there kind of wouldn't have had a look at it. But once I got on the program and once Cara talked to me through the 12-week program, I just thought, you know what, this is going to be amazing for me.
12 weeks sounds like a long time. Like when you say 12 weeks, I think, oh, have I got 12 weeks of my life to spare? Was it like that though?
No, it wasn't actually. So once she did tell me it was a 12-week program, I was like, okay, 12 weeks. Well, what's 12 weeks in the grand scheme of things? Once I kind of read through the program and saw what we were going to be doing on the program, I was like, man, people would go to uni for 3 to 4 years to kind of get some of this experience that they're going to get on this 12-week program. So, yeah, I was just a bit like, why not? I mean, 12 weeks.
12
there's
weeks.
52 in a year,
Yep.
you know. It was kind of like hard timing being at that time of the year, you know, obviously finishing at the beginning of December, going into festive season. There was a lot going on. But I think if it's something that's really important to you, you just make it happen and you just, you do
Awesome.
what you need to, yeah.
So how many of you were there last year on the program?
So we originally started with a cohort of 12, and then when we completed, there were 7 of us that successfully completed the 12-week program.
Cool. Did you learn things from other people on your course? Like, obviously, you've been there with other people who have fantastic ideas, who want to get somewhere in life. How was that for you?
I think for me, it was kind of like this room. It was it became a really safe space, and I think you learn a lot about yourself, being in a room of people with the same kind of mindset as you. I think there's one takeaway, one outcome that I really took from it, and it was surrounding yourself with the desired behaviour becomes your normal behaviour. So being surrounded by other creatives in our space every single time was just more motivating. It was more inspiring. Just seeing other people that are in our community doing their creative thing and wanting to make that a business to better our community, it was super inspiring. It just made our like kind of small town, small box dreams become
Awesome.
irrelevant. You know, we want to be bigger. We want to go bigger. Let's
That's
go
awesome.
bigger. Yeah.
That is fantastic. So obviously, this year there's a chance for people with that type of mindset to register for this program. So just tell us again, how simple is it to get on the program if you want to get into this year's intake?
Oh, super simple. You can head on to either of our platforms, so either Instagram or Facebook, and just click on the link tree, and in there is the Co-Creatives application link. Pop your name
Boom.
in, and
Done.
it's as easy as that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we'll actually put that link on the bottom of the screen as well, so you guys can follow that. And if you feel like that's you and you've got a creative mindset, I suggest you get along, click on that link and roll, and join the program and be with other like-minded people. Nick,
Yeah,
huh?
for sure. Yeah.
Just quietly, what was your creativeness?
I'm a photographer.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. So
Wow.
I am a family portrait photographer. Before heading into Co-Creatives, I was a photographer of everything. Anyone that wanted photos, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take photos. Heading into Co-Creatives, I really learnt that mastering one thing allows you to just really be creative in all you can be in that one area. You can just really hone in on your skill and really go far in that one skill. So I kind of found over the 12-week program that I really like capturing a story, and just being with your whānau for an hour, a whole lot can be told. I can read so much emotions in an hour, and just being able to just candidly stand there and snap that and capture that and really get the behind the scenes. I found that was my favourite thing to do. So
A picture sure does, have a million sort of...
Yeah, for sure,
hey,
yeah.
That's crazy. Why photography? Was it something you wanted to do when you grew up, when you were younger, or what got you down that path?
I think I've always kind of loved the idea of being a photographer. I've always kind of thought, that would be a really cool dream, even if you were to travel and, do travel photography. I figured out at a young age I don't like planes, so travel was not for me. But I did become a young mum. So when I was 19, I fell pregnant with my daughter. And when I had her, I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to get some real cute newborn shots. I'm going to get her in the little basket. And when I went to go and book that, actually, it was going to cost me like $800, $900. And I was like, oh, no, I can't afford that. But I just pulled out a DSLR a camera that my grandfather had given me when I was about 15. And saying that, he probably got it when I was like 10. So by then it was well ancient. And I just started taking photos of her, and I kind of just documented my daughter for the first 24 months of her life, and then I had my son. So since then I've literally just taken photos of my kids for the last 10 years. And then people kind of saw my pictures. They were like, oh, can you take photos of our kids? Because there wasn't really anyone in Tokoroa at the time. So, yeah, I've taken some photos of some people, a lot of families in town. And it wasn't until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, people were like, can you do our wedding? And I was like, oh, okay, I've never done that before, but I'll give it a try. And, you know, that's a big job, but didn't really charge anything, you know. I was like, oh, just a koha, or, you know, you're my mate, so I'll do it for free, you know, like lots of work.
Just a koha?
But I never really charged anything because I just thought, you know what, I didn't go to uni. I don't have credentials. I've just kind of like taught myself on YouTube, taught myself on Pinterest. So didn't really feel like I was worth charging the amount. And right up until before I started Crow Creatives last year, I still had that same mindset that I can't charge for this because I'm not qualified for this. But going into Crow Creatives, I really learnt the value I have in myself and in my work and in my time especially, and yeah, that was one thing. And I always wanted to give back to the community somehow, and in my mind it was like, I'm going to give back to the community by giving everyone cheap photography. And then it was like, wait, how am I going to pay my bills? You know, like, how am I going to buy new equipment? How am I going to do that stuff? It doesn't quite
work, eh?
No. So I just working with the crew at Impact Hub and the facilitators that we had, I really kind of changed my mindset on a different way that I can help our community, with like giving back to our youth and giving back to our other creatives by doing photography workshops, and maybe even doing like my own module on the co-creatives one day, you know, like doing that kind of stuff by giving back to our people instead of giving away free things, you know.
Sounds cool, man. That sounds awesome. I mean, it's amazing when I know in radio and in media, when you sit there and you edit stuff, there is so much you can take out of, you know, what you've recorded or what you've put down. Yeah. And no doubt it's the same with photography, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
When you sit there and you go through everything you're taking, and that fits, that doesn't, you know, it must be... Yeah, it must be pretty cool. Hey, definitely a creative mindset.
Yeah, definitely. I think we just look at things a little bit differently, you know, like everyone, obviously, we go to these family shoots and you obviously want the nice photo where we're all looking at the camera and you're smiling because, you know, that's going to go on the Christmas card, or that's going to go in the frame for Nan and Pop's house. But, like, I like to see, you know, like, the kids running around in the background while the mum and dad are trying to get a lovely photo of them, you know, or let's, you know, 3, 2, 1, look at your favourite person in the family, and you see who they look at, and then they laugh. They're all like, oh my God, I'm not the favourite, and they laugh, and then that's when you get it, you know, that's when you get the shot where they're laughing, and it's a real laugh. It's not like a, oh, let's pretend to laugh, ha, you know, it's a real genuine emotion. Or, you know, you go, run over there and find me something that's brown, and they come back and they're showing their parents, and their parents are all like really interested in what they've found. And or you see them, like, I have so many, it's the boys, it's the little boys, they're little like hunter gatherers. So as soon as you go outside and as soon as they're in space, they'll just run off, and just capturing them in just kind of like their natural habitat, I guess. Yeah, that's what I like to capture. So I think as a photographer and as a creative, you just look for those different things. Obviously, we love the, you know, the posed smiley portraits, and we need those. But
definitely.
It's the story and everything else that's what I look for specifically. Yeah.
I mean, all right, there you go, whānau. If you think you're a creative and you want to enter or register for that program, like I say, the details are on the screen. I think registrations close this coming weekend, so get in fast, whānau. I think registrations close this coming Saturday.
March the 26th.
Yep, this coming Saturday. So those details are on the screen. Get along, register yourself, and join other people like-minded, and let's see how far that creativity of yours goes, whānau. All right, Nick, let's delve into you, eh?
Ooh.
Where were you born, girlfriend?
I was born... sorry, I just dropped my phone down there. Waikato Hospital, Hamilton. Yeah.
Hamilton, eh? What happened? Was it was closed by then, I suppose, eh? Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton. My parents actually lived in Huntley at the time.
Wow.
So
you're not actually an original Tokoroa, an OG?
No, my parents were. My parents went to school here, and then we moved away. They obviously moved away. When I was born, my parents lived in Huntly. I was probably only about 5 or 6 months old, and then we moved to Te Puke, actually, between Te Puke and Paingaroa. We lived on the Makatū Road it was like an amazing kiwi fruit orchard. We just, massive backyard, and it was such good childhood memories. And then we moved to Tokoroa when I turned 5.
Turned 5. Do you remember any memories of kindergarten growing up or anything like that?
Yes,
no?
I do. I actually went to kindergarten at Paingaroa Kindi,
Wow.
and they had this super cool like red slide. And it was one
of those ones.
Yeah, it was like a sunshade.
Yeah,
it was made out of a sunshade,
yeah.
and you land on it and you kind of bounce down. But I remember one day I went to go I want to jump really high onto the slide, and there was a wood, and I smashed my head on the wood. And almost got a concussion. But yeah, honestly, the best kindy. We used to have to catch the bus actually from our house on Makatū Road to Paingaroa, and one day I jumped on the bus. I was 4. I had two older brothers and an older sister that went to the Paingaroa primary, full primary, so it was a intermediate and a high school too. I used to catch the bus with them, and they would drop me off to the kindy, and then they'd go to school. And I went this one day, and the kindy was closed, and the bus had already left, and I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And I had just turned 4, and I had my first day at school on my own, so my brothers took me over to the new entrance class, and I was in there for the day, and it was I thought I was so cool. I was like, I'm so clever, I'm only 4 and I'm at school, let's go. It was like the best day of my life. And then that playground, that day, I jumped off the playground, fearless as I jumped off the playground, and I landed on this pole that was sticking out of the ground, broke my toe, and I had to get on the bus, go home on the bus, and we lived down this long ass driveway. My brother and sister just left me there, and they took off down the driveway, and I was broken. I'm dramatic as by the way, sorry, excuse my language.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm dramatic as. I was like, oh my god, my leg's broken. Literally trying to crawl down the driveway, and I never forgave my brother and sister for that. I was like, could have carried me. And so there probably wasn't good memories. I just remember getting hurt.
That's a good memory, man. That's that's something.
I feel like that was a very vivid memory. I remember the detail. My dad came home from work and saw me dragging myself down the driveway.
Wow.
And I can't actually remember if he picked me up. He might have just drove straight past me actually. I think I had to.
Just walk. Yeah,
he was like, oh, you're already halfway. You might as well carry on.
Carry on. That's an awesome memory to have. So there till 5. You mentioned a brother and sister.
Yes.
So siblings?
Yes, I have. I'm one of 5. I have 2 older brothers, an older sister, and a younger sister.
Oh, wow. So you're sort of number 4, eh?
Yeah, middle child.
Yeah. Is it true that, middle child syndrome, does that actually exist, or is that just a myth?
Oh, what is that?
Well, where...
We get neglected?
Well, yeah, pretty much. That's it. Yeah. Middle children always feel like they get neglected because the older ones and the younger ones get all the attention, and when you're in the middle,
I think it definitely is a thing. I was from what I recall, my parents always said that I was a very content child. I was happy to kind of play in the corner on my own. Obviously, my brothers were real league players. Local league, representative league, New Zealand rep league. So constantly, always kind of following them around for their sports and whatnot. And I was just happy to do that, So it wasn't until I was about 15, 16 that I was like, oh, you know what? I've never gotten attention. I'm going to start being naughty and see if I get attention. And I got it. I got it. And then I stopped getting it. I got nothing, and I was like, okay, I probably should start acting right, and maybe they'll kind of see me. But no, I definitely think it is a thing. My younger sister actually, I think we were the age of 2 and 3, she was taller than me, so I would always get the hand-me-downs, and I was like, oh my god, I'm older than you, how come I'm getting your hand-me-downs? It's supposed to be the other way around. And the same with my brothers, I'd get their old clothes and stuff, but at the time I just didn't really care. I was such a tomboy, so when I got my brother's clothes I was like, yes, got some league shorts, but I understood it. We had 5 kids, I know now I've only got 3 kids, and the cost of living, you know, like I can't imagine having my parents having 5 kids and having, you know, 5 sports fees to pay, you know, travelling all over the place for 5 people. We didn't get free lunches back then, you know, so 5 mouths to feed. And so, yeah, it didn't really bother me at the time, but it definitely kind of started to bother me when I was a teenager.
Nice. All right, 5, moving to Tokoroa. What school did you go to?
Tokoroa North School. Yeah, went to Tokoroa North School. I then went on to Tokoroa Intermediate. I went to Forest View, year 9 and 10. I went to Tokai for year 11. I moved to Australia, actually, for year 12. And then I came back for year 13. Half of the year of year 13. High school dropout.
That's that's quite a bit of here, there, and everywhere, huh?
It definitely was, yeah. But I really enjoyed North School. Like, I had a great primary school kind of 5 years there. You know, you obviously have the same teacher for the first 2 years. You move on, you've got the same teacher for the next, 3, 4. And then I remember the teacher that I had in year 5 and 6, and like, I don't know if you know Laurie Murray, Mr. Murray. I think he's still out there relieving. But he was just so, like, onto it. Like, there's so many cool things that I learnt in year 5 and 6 that even now I'm like, okay, what did he say? Okay, cool,
So you obviously had a good lasting impression on you then,
Yeah, definitely. Probably one of my most favourite teachers. Like, he was real creative as well, so that was a real good real kind of thing for me. Like, we always did art, and he was quite creative with his art. And he'd just give us full rein. When I went to intermediate, I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to do art. I like art, but I didn't like being told what to do at art. Like, I don't like, okay, go and draw this. I'm like, I don't want to draw that. I want to do what I want to do. So Mr. Murray just, like, giving us that creative rein from that age, I was just kind of like, you're my favourite teacher ever.
Love that. 7 and 8, any memories from intermediate?
Probably the big one was Jump Jam. Yeah, we went to Jump Jam Nationals.
Gosh, Jump Jam. I must be old.
Yeah, honestly, it was like the best time ever. We went to Auckland for like 5 days, and got to the guy who did Jump Jam, the bald guy that's always got heaps of energy. He came in and he was judging us, and we were like, we did this song, I think it was like Bartie, it was a Cook Island one, and it was so cool, like all these things. It was a good time. But that was probably a real big highlight from high school, from intermediate. Also, like, cross country, like, all the, like, obviously getting to intermediate and being, you go through primary and you've got cross country, and then you go have cross country inter schools, but you just race against other people in Tokoroa.
Yeah, of course.
Getting to intermediate and you're, like, open to that, like, regional inter schools. You're like, man, this is so cool. Love those kind of things where you did your athletics and you did your cross country and you played your sports, and then when you went in schools, you were, outside world, you were small fish in a bigger bowl, so it was real, like, eye-opening. That was, like,
what I love? You're one of the few people that I've met that talks about cross country the way you do.
Oh my god, I love cross country.
It's crazy fun. One of the very few that talks about cross country in that way.
Oh,
amazing!
I loved cross country.
You talk about cross country the way I talk about basketball and stuff like that.
Like, my kids are doing cross country now, and they do well. But, like, anyone who finishes cross country, I'm at the primary school and I'm, like, tearing. I'm like, look at these kids.
Wow, that's passion, eh?
Honestly.
That's determination.
Yeah.
That's a mum.
Yeah.
There's a few other things that you'll,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
High school. How were your high school years?
Challenging, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm self-diagnosed ADHD.
All right.
I just found at high school really hard to keep friendships.
Why was that? Was that because of?
I feel like I've always been someone who kind of, like, backs. Like, I'll stick up for myself. Like, I'll give an opinion, even when, like, now that I've learned probably wasn't the right time to give an opinion. So I did clash a lot with the friends that I had at school. Probably, maybe even now, I'll say that I've only got about maybe 2 or 3 friends that I'm still friends with from
school.
school.
That was,
yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. And like we still clash, big time. We still clash now, but I think we're all obviously like growing up enough now to be able to talk about that and resolve that. There were probably a few years there that we didn't talk because I'm stubborn and they are too, and that's probably why we're friends.
Cross country,
Yep.
Stubborn.
Yeah, I would probably say if you were good at cross country, you weren't my friend.
Wow.
You were my
I like
rivalry.
that. Competitive. Maybe I should have put competitive in the intro as well, eh? Competitive.
For sure. Yeah.
Because, determined, challenge.
Yeah.
That's sort of
I mean, we love a social, but like socially competitive is
still good though. Nothing wrong with being competitive. I think.
Yeah.
I think this generation misses that competitiveness a little bit.
I think
everyone wants to be bros.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I've always had this mindset that like if you're gonna show up, if you're gonna make the effort, like we don't show up to participate. We're participating, but we want to show up and we want to give that effort and we want to make it worth it. So I think I apply that with all of my sports and all of my running.
I know a lot of people say to me, man, let's have some fun. No, let's win.
Yeah.
And have fun winning.
I actually said, I was like, do you know what's more fun than playing? Yeah, winning while you play.
And I know at this day and age, they teach kids it's about, I've never been that type of coach.
Yeah.
It's always win first, play later.
Yeah.
So let's win. And if we give it 120%, and we don't win, we still won because we gave it.
Honestly.
We gave it, but, it's win first. Let's have fun winning, not let's have fun and try and win. No, I don't. Definitely don't.
We like everyone likes a winner, I think.
Of course.
And I can hand on my heart say that I'm a sore loser. I hate losing. That's probably why I shouldn't play team sports. But it's also like, this is why I like to be fit and I like to run and I like to, because if I am playing a team sport and I know that I've put in the effort to keep myself fit and keep myself fast and strong, then when I come into the team, I know that I'm giving the effort that I can. But yeah, I don't like losing.
But to be honest, Nick, I think in life, you're one or the other. You're either a winner or a loser.
Yeah.
People, that's a bit tough. Well, you are. You're either a winner, and you can be winning in anything.
Yeah.
Anything in life. Life in itself is a race.
Yeah.
So you're either a winner in life or you're a loser. You're one or the other. You can't be in the middle because that doesn't exist.
I think you need both. Like, you need to experience the loss to appreciate the win, and you need to know what it feels like to lose, to be like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. And it's also like a reflection. You're like, okay, why? You always think, there's like a process. Like if I, say for instance, I do a CrossFit comp and there's a WOD that I knew I should have done well in, I should have done better in, and I kind of break it down. I look at it and be like, okay, the first thing I'll note is what did I do well, So what did I do right? Okay, I did that right. I did that unbroken. I didn't get any no reps on that. What did I do wrong? I need to change that. Like if you lose, you don't need to throw it all in the rubbish and start the whole project again. You just pick out what you did right first, leave that because there's nothing wrong with that. Don't fix what's not broken and reevaluate what you did wrong and come back, do it again, do it better.
Good advice.
Yeah. So I do that obviously, like with everything in life. It's not just a sport, it's not just a CrossFit comp, it's not running, it's just everything. If you're, as a mum, I have a daughter who's 10 now and I'm literally sitting at the table with her having a conversation like she's an adult. We're talking about feelings and we're talking about experiences, and she gets frustrated and I get frustrated and I'm like, okay, now we need to go and calm down and come back and talk about it. I'll walk to my room and be like, okay, this conversation went really well until it got to here. Okay, what could I have done better as the adult to make, before we got to the point where, okay, now we're frustrated, we need to go and have a break. And then I'll come back and I'll explain to her, like, this is why I said what I said. Sorry, I shouldn't have said it like that, but, da-da-da-da-da. I don't just throw it all in the rubbish and be like, that was a waste of time. Start again,
Also, I like that, Nick. That's determination at its finest.
Oh, yeah.
Determined to get an outcome that suits everyone, right?
experienced a bit of loss to get to that kind of,
Yeah, of course.
advice
You
now.
got to. You got to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the life race. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's life in general. You've got to, you know.
Wins and losses.
Just got to take it. Take the good with the bad and learn from it, and just keep building. Before we moved from high school, which was your favourite, Tokai or Forest?
Oh, it's a hard one. Like, I say both, but none.
Yep.
And I'll openly say it to anyone. I'm like, oh, you know what? Both were good in their own way. I loved the sport I played at Tokai. I loved the culture. I think when I first signed up, I kind of got thrown a bit in the deep end. I went and signed up, and Mr. Utanga, he signed me up. And he was the dean at the time, of that kind of age group, and because I was signing up when I was year 11. And I was like, yep, cool. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm going to put you in my tutor because I think you'd be a real asset to my tutor. You know, like you're sporting wise. You know, academically, I was like top student. I was like quite top at Forest View year 9 and 10. And well, when I say top, I'm not like head girl top. I'm just kind of like sitting not at the bottom, you know. But, you know, he was like, you know, your reports are well, you know, you're very sporty. You know, he knew my family for many years. His sons played league with my brothers. So, you know, we knew each other. He's like, you're very sporty, you know, the Bartie name. I want you in my tutor. And I was like, okay, cool. Yep, all good. He'll look after me. I know him. I went to my first tutor class and I was like, looking around, and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm the only white person at the school. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, like, what's going on. And then I found out I was put in Te Manawa, and I was like, oh, cool. So really cultural, and it was like a smack in the face for me at Tokai, because coming from Forest View, you know, they didn't really have the poly group when I was there, and their kapahaka was kind of there, but it kind of wasn't. So we weren't
Probably
really like...
sucked, eh?
Yeah.
Sucked. Just sucked.
Yeah. So there were... So when I got there and I was put in Te Manawa and I walked in, and like, you know, some of the people that were in there are still my friends. And actually my sister...
Whoa,
yeah.
Those are all the white kids.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was like, well, there's no white kids here. I think I'm the only white kid. But... Tutere was in there, and that's my sister-in-law's brother, and he was like, oh, Churra Nix, and I was like, hi, and he was like, oh, what are you doing in the cookie tutor? And I was like, oh my God, I did not know this.
Because I want to be Cook Island.
Yeah, and I stayed there for a little bit, and we went to I think we had the mash tutor.
Yep.
And our mash tutor was in the hall, it was in the auditorium, and I walked in, and I swear to God, it was like almost 90% of the school, and it was so cool, you know. Like I was just kind of like, oh my God. And I noticed another white boy, Heath. He was in there, and I was like, hey, I feel you. I see you.
Yeah. Every day.
But it was cool. Like obviously being immersed in that culture, pretty cool. Because obviously coming from North School, there wasn't a lot of culture. I did the kapaka there, and I think a lot of us were really white, and then. Prior to that, we were in Te Puke, and when I was in there, like in Pangaroa, it must be like a rural place, you know, and so all the kids at my kindy there were really white kids as well. So going to Tokai and just being kind of like, whoa, and there are a lot of kids I'd never seen before, so I was like, man, I wonder what intermediate you went to, because I haven't met you before, you know. Obviously we went to Tokai, and I saw a lot of them. We went to Tokai Intermediate, and I saw a lot of them there, but there were a lot of kids at Tokai that I was like, I've never seen you before, like, you know, and I thought I knew everyone. But so that was a cool thing about Tokai, is that it was real cultural. And in the sports, when you have those cultural people come into sports, man, they play with so much passion, they play with so much heart. So it made the sport so much more exciting. It's more fun, and we like to win. You know, the Māori Pacifica people, we like winning, you know. So we go and we play with effort, which was cool. That was really cool. But at Forest View, I really liked the classes, you know, the academics there were.
Who was the principal there when you were there?
When I was there, was Mr. Crawford.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Richie.
Yeah. And it was what was it? Miss Prescott was the deputy principal. Yeah, she was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of time in her office. I think I did Miss, do you need me to run any notes or anything like that? But yeah, no, it was good. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
So While we're talking about, white people are all good, just want to say that on the
Yeah,
podcast. We love you, white people, all good, all day, every day. But tell us, culturally, where do you align to?
Yeah, so if you had asked me 6 years ago, I would have said I'm New Zealand European. But over the last 5 or so years, I've really kind of had this pull towards my Māori side. So yeah, I've kind of did a bit of a deep dive. We descend to Ngaitahu.
All right.
Ngāti Kuri is our hapu. Our marae is in Kaikoura. Takahanga marae. We're on Takitimu Waka. Yeah, it was really cool to actually find out, because when we were at high school, when we were at intermediate doing kapaka, I was like, oh,
that's cool.
Ko Endeavour, Toku Waka. I was like, I have no idea. Like, I'm from Raukawa because that's where I'm from, but I had no idea back then. But so definitely that's probably one of my goals for the next couple of years, is to actually travel down there and
apparently you got nice crayfish down there on that coast. It's the best.
Honestly,
they tell me.
I'm the most plastic Māori. I don't drink. I don't eat seafood.
Don't you? Wow.
Plastic.
That's not hey.
Wait, am I not the only one? Or?
No. There's a few Māoris that don't eat seafood.
Okay.
I've never tried kinna before, but they make it look nice.
I tried it.
Yeah, not great. It's not gold like they say.
No.
It
feels like a cat's tongue.
I don't really know what a cat's tongue feels like, but
I would assume that's what it's like. It looks like the texture of what a cat's tongue would feel like. You know what I mean?
God, they make it look so nice.
And the slurping.
Hey, especially when they do it straight off the boat, and they're like, and they're just like, I'm just like,
it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves is loud eating. So anyone who's eating kinners around me, I'm like. they know straight away too. I'm like,
I like that. I'm going to ask you what some of those things are very soon.
Oh, cool.
A mum. So you've got 3 kids. You mentioned.
Yeah.
What are their names? How old are they?
Bailey. She's 10 today, actually.
Wow.
Little St. Patty's Day baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if I've got eye bags, it's because I've been crying all night. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm old. I've got a double digits baby, but no, she's 10 today. Joshy, who is 8, and then Hayes will be 5 on Anzac Day, so he's 4 now. But
wow.
Yeah.
So if you've got a 10-year-old, that makes you...
I'm 29.
29?
Yeah. I'll be 30 in May.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm ready. I'm like 30 and thriving. Like 20s for me were very challenging years. I've had a lot of loss during my 20s, like loss of friendships, loss of relationship, loss of my father. So I'm ready to just kind of like, let's close that book. A lot of learnings, obviously never regrets, always lessons. But I'm feeling like I haven't felt this confident in myself and where I'm going. So I'm ready to enter my 30s. Life starts now. Let's do it. Yeah. Hey. So I'm excited to be old.
30s, mate. So you got a big 30th planned?
Nana, no, I haven't planned anything yet. Yep. It's only a couple of months away, but I'm kind of. I was like, I'm gonna do something new. I'm gonna jump out of a plane. I'm gonna do something. Maybe not jump out of a plane because I might not make it to my
jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
I've been told that's some of the best vibes you could get just quietly.
I think it's one of those things I have to do. I'm always scared. I'm scared of heights. But you know what? I don't think I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of falling. I'm scared of falling and what you're gonna land on. You know
what's funny? You mentioned you're scared. I hate heights.
Yeah.
I'm scared as of heights. And I hate flying.
Yeah, I hate
flying.
See? Yeah.
But I'll sit on a plane anywhere within 6 hours.
Really?
That's it. But then I do this. Any little shake on a plane, I start looking around and I start looking at the flight attendants.
Yeah.
If they're all good, then I'm good.
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, and I think it's called Across the Top, and she's studying to be a flight attendant, and they start having turbulence on the plane, and she's like, we're gonna die. So every time I feel turbulence, I'm like, we're gonna die.
Yeah, I'm like that. I've got a real phobia
I
about
have my kid next to me and I'm like, oh my God, let's not act like we're gonna die, but the plane's shaking, we're gonna fall out of the sky.
I want to get to LA and Hawaii, but I just haven't been confident enough to sit on a plane that long, believe it or not. Yeah. I'm scared of heights. I've never even walked over the Arapuni swing bridge.
Me neither.
See? Never. And you know, I got taken there about 6 years ago when I was tutoring a course I used to do with 16, 17-year-olds, the broadcast music media program.
Oh, at the what? Up
the way. They took me out there. They said, right, we're going to get you to walk across the bridge, because I said, oh, hell no. Oh, you got to practice what you preach. Oh, you can piss off, And they all the students stood there and wouldn't let me off. I sort of walked a little, the first little 5 meters, and I'm like, nah. I turned them, they were like, nah, come on, Doc, you got to do it. Nah, piss off, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere. I'll sit here. I don't care if we sit here all night, bro. I'll sit here. I'm not going, So I've never, I'm so scared of heights, man.
Yeah.
And you're probably right, it's probably the fear of falling.
Yeah.
But I jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just told me that's next level.
Yeah.
That's something you just can't replicate.
Yeah.
So, when I made inquiries about that, I'm too heavy, so I'll never be jumping out of a plane. You've got to be under 100 k's, so that's never going to happen. If I jump out by myself, I'll probably conk out and won't be able to pull my shit. So that's the rules. So jumping, if you're tandem with somebody, you've got to be under 100 k's.
Really?
So that counts half of South Pacific out, because they're all above 100 k's. Yeah, you've got to be under 100 k's. Apparently, that's the rule.
Oh.
Some instructors, if they're light enough, might do 105, but 100 k's is the cutoff.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, you jump out by yourself. But I don't think I could jump out by myself, because But they reckon though it's a buzz.
Yeah, like if I hit the ground and I get paralysed, like I need someone to sue. So the bro behind me is getting sued. Like, I've got to blame someone. If I jump out and my parachute doesn't go out and it's my fault, I can't blame myself.
Yeah.
I'll be like, faulty parachute.
Yeah. And I suppose I've always thought jumping out's all good, because at least I've got, if I'm going to die, I can see it coming.
Yeah.
I've got,
Yeah, you've got time to have
time,
that.
but I never done a bungee, never done a swing, never, none of those. Nah,
I think I had I always wonder, like, why am I scared of heights? Okay, what's the trauma response here? Like, when you're young, you're just fearless as you're like, I'm going to jump off everything, broke my foot, jump off this, all good. And I think about it, and I know the exact time. I went on the Fair Fall at Rainbow's End, and I was tiny. I think I was like 11. And I remember falling, and I wasn't even on the seat. Like my shoulders were up, and I felt like I was falling out the bottom of the seat. And after that, I was like, I swore off heights. Like, I'm never doing anything like that again.
I couldn't even handle the pirate ship.
No, that just makes you sick. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah, that's
I remember mine. I got pushed off a ladder. See, which is why we were building a house down on the coast down in Takaha.
Yeah.
Back in my teen days, I was out there doing some building, and we were building this 2-story house.
Yeah.
And I was halfway up a ladder, and one of the boys pushed it over into the flex bush, but that was just. I mean, I know I landed in the flex bush, and I didn't break anything. It would have been funny to see. The boys just laughed, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I was so like, I could never get up the ladder again. I just freaked. I can't even stand on the top of a house, man. I'm like, even when I watch stuff online, bro, I get those. You know how you get the all, I'm just like, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
Especially, so I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but at the moment I've just finished watching What Happened to MH370. I've been watching that documentary.
Is it good? Is it
like,
good? Oh, cool. I'm going to add it. Cool.
I'm just like, 3 episodes, and I'm like, whoa, because each episode has a theory. That freaks me out when I'm like, whoa.
That's exciting. I want to go watch it.
Yeah, it's. I actually watched it over the weekend, so I'm like, next time fellas, are we going the right direction? No. We're not going anywhere different, are we? See, that's another phobia, see?
You'll be watching the flight, the
airplane. So watching that got me like, it's just sad that they ended up somewhere, It's just be really nice to
Is it
get
like
the
a
bag.
real life Lost?
Wow, if you look at the 3 theories, it's one of the 3.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah, I won't tell you what the theories are, but...
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I actually,
Did you watch Manifest?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Have you watched Manifest?
Yeah.
Is that one of the theories?
Hey. But it's funny, all 3 theories make sense.
Yeah.
But I tend to go with... I always went with theory 2. Okay. I won't say what theory 2 was. I'll wait till you watch it. But I always went with theory 2, bro.
Cool.
Theory 3, I just think theory 3 would be too hard to cover up. But I don't go with theory 1 because they haven't found anything from theory 1.
I'm intrigued. I'm so intrigued right now.
Yeah, where are they? I just hope one day they find them. I mean, you just don't expect to hop on a plane and it just
disappear.
Disappear off the face of the earth. Like, we don't live in Mars.
No.
Like, yeah, anyway.
Just wondering. Yeah.
Deep breath. A couple more things. You're a mum.
Yep.
You do amazing things. How do you fit in the fitness part of it all, girl? Like, seriously.
To be honest, like, that's always a priority for me. Like, if I've got a busy day and I've got like a to-do list of like 15 things, I'll never drop off having a workout. It's for me physically as much as it is for me mentally.
Yep.
I have, like, obviously I did mention before how in my 20s it was quite a challenging, 10 years. So where I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, sorry, when I was about 23, 22. And I just found moving my body was such a good outlet for me.
Yep.
Like the endorphins, the increase of dopamine to the brain, like I always just felt a better version of myself after I've worked out. More recently, after losing my dad, I found a way to just like have a big fat die,
Yep.
like lie on the ground and be like, oh my God, there's no pain worse than the pain that I'm feeling right now, because you just like push yourself to those limits. Hence why I love CrossFit, because man, that's intense. But also, like, I've always loved running. Like I mentioned, cross country for me.
Oh, God damn, you do.
Always,
Hey?
I know. I know.
From a young age. You started at North School.
I think I've ran like 3 half marathons and haven't got a medal just because I just ran a half marathon just because I felt like it. I'm like, man, what an idiot. Like, I should get a medal for this. Like, but just the thinking that I do, like I do my most productive thinking when I'm working out or when I'm running. So if I'm feeling like, someone even asked me this question when I took over the Impact Hub Instagram stories. They were like, what do you do when you get a creative blockage? I run, or I swim, or I work out, because I just feel like I always just go, oh man, that's a cool idea, and then note it down. And
everyone has their own sort of,
Yeah.
Some go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Some smoke some weed.
Do what you got to do. Honestly, I'm all for it. You do what you got to do. But also, in Tokoro, like our fitness community is so like it's abundant. Right? We've got all the options that you could ever want here. So the connections you make, like the friendships you make, just same as on the co-creatives, like-minded people, and some people different fitness levels, but they're all there to better themselves. They're all there. You've got to put in the work. You get the results. And that's what I like about gym and running, and everyone starts at the bottom. It's hard. Like being unhealthy is hard, and being healthy is hard. But one gets easier, and one just gets harder. So you've just got to make the choice. And just stick to it. Like consistency is key. You don't have to be like running marathons every day to be, the best runner.
Definitely.
It's just you've got to do a little bit every day.
Can I ask you something? Because
of course.
You
really want to do that skydive?
Oh yeah, one day. One day, let's anyway, definitely. But I want to ask you something about fitness, because you mentioned it, fitness community. I think personally, because I just love saying things, because that's just how I am. I just quite outspoken, and I say what I feel.
I love that.
I think our community, from a fitness perspective, is just whacked, just crazy, very competitive. Comes down to what gym you go to, all that sort of crap and carry on. For me, why isn't that space more like this?
Yeah.
Why is it so, in your opinion? And I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
Because I think there's work that needs to be done on it.
For sure.
And I mean, I don't want to out some people, but I won't. But I just think there's plenty of that going on when, if we're all concerned about everyone's progress and everybody's health, why are we not more like that?
Yeah. It definitely, there's potential to be more collaborative than it is competitive, I say it to every single person that walks into MC to sign up. All gyms are the same. We've all got a treadmill, we've all got dumbbells, we've all got barbells. Your barbells might be newer than mine, but they weigh the same, all the gyms offer the same things. In Tokoro, all of our gyms have classes, but but you've just got to go where you feel comfortable. You know, if MC's too small and there's too many people at 5 p.m. and that's your time to train, I'm like, nah, maybe Gym 56 is probably more suited for you because their space is bigger. You know, like, I just think you've got to go where you feel good, because if you don't feel good walking into that gym, you're just paying our Powerball. You are not going to go, you know. And we've had a few people that have been paying our Powerball for the last year, and I'm like, sis, where you at? Like, come in and see us. Like, come and have a chat. Like, honestly, I go into train at MC. I'll get there at about 6 p.m. Sometimes I don't get home till midnight because I've just been like chatting all night, and I don't even get a workout in because I'm just talking. I'm like, if you come into the doors and you feeling like you leave feeling a little bit better about yourself, whether you've just kind of like had a catch up or whether you've had a train, that's a successful gym trip for me. But I'm also like, you need to go into these spaces and see what they feel like. Like, if you feel confident in there because you've got the space and you've got the support and you've got, you know, the camaraderie with the other gym members, 100% go there. Like, and I think, you know, I think all of our gyms need to be like that. Like, obviously we have classes and there's other gyms out there that are specifically just class gyms. I'm like, go there. If you want to go to boxing, you know, go to BoxFit. If you want to do Olympic lifting and CrossFit, Limitless is there. But you definitely need to go there and have a feel of it. If it's not your vibe, it's not your vibe. Go somewhere else. Like I said, there's an abundance of choice here. So if you can't find it at one spot, you're probably going to find it somewhere else. And I think just as gyms, we just need to be supportive of that. Like, we've just got to be supportive of the people and where they feel the most comfortable. It shouldn't be like, hey, look, you've taken our member or we've taken your member. Like, at the end of the day, fitness industry wins, you know?
Yeah, of
like,
course.
If you can, like, if people can feel that there's competitiveness between the gyms, it's not a good vibe to walk into.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not a good place to train.
I find it quite funny, Nick. I find it quite crack up, you know? Like, you're being competitive with the wrong guy, mate. You know? So shout out to MC Fitness for the Sharks for letting us use your studio. So shout out to Thelma and the crew and you guys for, you know, y'all gotta get that in there. I can, because it's my podcast anyway. Look at the producer, hey! Look at the producer, hey! It's what it's about. Anyway, so obviously, fitness plays a big part in your life, doesn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. It's definitely something that I prioritise for myself, for my children. We play sport. They play sport. They're very competitive, like me. And it's an outlet for them. You know, they've got energy to burn. I'd rather you be burning energy running outside than
of course,
playing
definitely.
the game.
They love cross country too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they cry
genes,
when they lose. Honestly, it's so sad. I'm like, oh my god, you came second, and they're like, yeah, but that's first loser. Like,
first loser. I love that one. First loser.
I know, it's such a...
You're the first loser. Did you know that?
Yeah. But I'm like, but you're still first at something because you were the first loser. Like, you weren't the second loser. But that's definitely a mentality that we were brought up in. Like we were saying before, just there's winners and losers, and we were kind of brought up in that age where it was like, you've got to win. Yeah.
Hey, just before we wrap things up, all right, you know, you're this amazing person doing all these amazing things. What can I say? I said it in the intro. There must be a lucky guy somewhere, man. Surely.
A lucky shark, maybe?
Hey, a lucky shark. Hey, is there one out there?
Yes, there is. I have to share him with the Sharks for half of the year. But, It's very, very grateful for my partner, Vinny. He, obviously, I do a lot. And I'm gone and I'm home and I'm gone again. Sometimes I'll go to work at 9 and I'm not getting home till after 10, and he just holds it down. So, a lot of his extracurricular activities like league kind of gets put on the back burner. But he's very supportive, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
That's cool though, because I mean, like, as much as people think I'm a bit of a psycho coach, you know, family and mahi come first. You know, like 100%. I always say to the boys. Yep. Nothing's ever more important than family and mahi, because family's first and you need to feed your family. So at the end of the day, league's just an outlet. So don't put everything else, you know, behind league, because league's just a game. Yeah, and
I definitely, it's a bit of give and take, eh? Like he'll give me the time that I need to do what I need, and then when it's league season, I'm like, okay, it's your turn, you know, I get it, it's your turn, we got to share, I better give some, but, you know, like, it's very good, I've got, you know, I could probably name on maybe 10 fingers of the people that I'm extremely grateful for supporting me and, like, watching my kids and doing so that I can, you know, do what I can for the community at the hub and at the gym, you know, and also doing what I need to with, you know, my netball team and my running and things like that. So
you're a defender or an attacker?
Oh, defence all the
way.
way.
All the way, eh?
Yeah, I'm a wannabe attacker. I don't know where to throw the ball. I just throw it and be like, get there. Yeah, but defence, I'm
you're
like...
tall, you could be a shooter.
Oh, I'm a shooter when I'm playing around the world. And then when I get in the game with a defender's hand in my face, I just get annoyed and, you know, give it out, make the other shooter...
Actually, I think indoor netball is a great game to play too.
Oh, I love indoor netball, yeah.
I just...
it's meant to be social, but like I was saying, socially competitive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I always used to encourage my ballers to play indoor netball.
Yeah.
Because
honestly,
that allows
the
you
men
to
down
express.
there are amazing.
Hey?
It's like some of the men, I'm like, oh, do you play league or are you low-key netballer?
Yeah,
like...
It's cool because, you know, when you play basketball, you're always in process and you're always... But when you play indoor netball, you're only... you know, in your whatever 2/3 of the court, and you can express yourself a little bit more because no one expects you to throw a no-look pass or one over your head or one behind the back, or no one really expects that. So you can be a little bit more flamboyant and express yourself.
And it's all like in netball, because you can't obviously bounce and run with the ball. It's all bodies in motion, so your body's got to be moving when the ball's moving. So it's like the agility and the speed and the power that men have. I'm like, man, like
one thing I don't like
impressive.
about netball though, you can't hold holding, stand aside, shut up.
Oh, you can't obstruct and you can't contact.
Can't hold, because like in ball, it's very, you know, I can, if you're defending me, I can give you the elbow, get off me. Yeah. But if I do the netball, stand aside where? Outside?
Yeah. I guess it depends on the umpire, because sometimes, I'm like, this is not a non-contact sport. But, you know, it's all like a bit of like I said, give and take. If you're gonna give it, you got to take it as well. Like,
but I'm a wing attack, just quietly.
I'm a wing D, so.
Hey, I love wing attack. I don't mind goal attack, but it was more like just people ding up right behind you. It's like, excuse me, you're in my space. Yeah. Can you just step back a little bit?
There's a Goldie, you're a one-on-one. You're man on, like.
Excuse me, can you just back it up a little bit? Hey, you're a little bit close for my liking.
Yeah. And if I played Goldie, I'd be like, no. Right on you. I would not give you any space.
I think it's funny and it's good. It's good exercise.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
I hate training, but I love playing sport.
No,
I've always hated training even when I was young.
I think everyone's like that. I think like our generation nowadays is very much like that. We coached the high school netball girls for a few years, and we found it was real hard to get people to training. Yeah. Like, you know, and when we came to training, it was like they were really into it when we were just playing like a half court of netball. But when we did fitness, it was like, oh my God, this is so hard. This is so hard. And I'm like, man, when we were at school, we were like running laps around the field. And
you know, my favourite line is, Nick, I do my own training at home. hey, training on the tables doesn't count. Nor does training in your fuwai, just quietly. Oh, Nick, it's been cool. It's been cool. Again, you know, want to thank South Waikato, Impact Hub South Waikato. Don't forget that co-creatives course details on the screen. Applications close this coming Saturday. Get on in there. And we do thank South Waikato Impact Hub for their sponsorship today. A couple of things before I let you go. Cool. When you want to cheat, when you want to just have a meal and just eat anything, what's your go-to meal? Because obviously eating's probably something you take quite seriously. Yeah. So when you want to just rip your clothes off and just eat whatever, what is it? What's the go-to meal for Nick Bartie?
A big fat burger. It doesn't matter where I go. You could take me to the nicest restaurant. Right. I'll flip to the burger menu and get me a burger. Yep. Every time, and then I'll review it. And then I'll be like, that was a 7 out of 10. You know, I've had better. Yeah. You know, the burger patty to bun ratio was a bit off, but definitely a burger.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you have to have fries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rip-off if you can get a burger. If you get a burger without fries, who does that? Burger Fuel sorted out.
Hey, I know, right? It's funny, like you mentioned burgers, they have lettuce burgers these days. Is that what they call them, or carbless burgers? Is that a rip-off, or should you just not go there?
Yeah,
don't do it.
Just get a burger and take the buns away. Like, you pay extra for carbless burger, and you just get what you get inside the burger,
the
but
burger.
without the buns. Like,
Without
hey,
the
give
bun.
me the buns. I'm that person that if you take me for lunch, I'll eat my plate, and then I'll be like, man, kids in Somalia are starving. I need to eat all of it because we're not wasting food at this table. So I'll eat everyone's plate. So yeah, if we go for lunch and you get, you know, a burger and you can't eat the buns, I'll eat my burger and your buns. Like, give them to me.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
You go. Where do you see Nick Bartie in 10 years? I'll ask you that question. Where do you see yourself 10 years, 2 months before your 40th birthday?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't know. Like, obviously we have goals and there's always an end goal. At the moment, I don't really have an end goal. I just have, like, I want to be doing something for the community. I want to be in a job role where I'm helping the community. So being at the Impact Hub now, it's the perfect place for me to be right now. I'm in a position to be able to offer stuff to our community, which is cool. So basically 10 years from now, if I'm still at the Impact Hub, I just want to be in a more elevated role where I can be like,
the boss.
Our youth needs this.
Hub.
Let's make it happen. You know, like, So that's where I see myself. No more kids. So, you know, my 5-year-old will be, I guess 10 years from now, turning 15.
That's a big statement. No more kids at 29.
Nah.
Never know, though, eh?
Nah, definitely not. Like, my fitness for me is very important. And, you know, like,
do you know how many people have said to me, no more kids, and then 3 kids later?
Oh, hopefully not me. Hopefully, don't jinx me.
Touch some wood.
Yeah,
Touch some wood.
There is none. Oh. No, so definitely, obviously, like, a pre and postnatal trainer, a personal trainer. I know how hard it is. And I experienced 3 babies. I know how hard it is to have a baby and try and come back. Not that, you know, that's important, but I think for me, I'm just, like, really enjoying where my life is going at the moment, how I'm feeling. You know, just gonna kind of roll with that. Like, my kids are at an age now where they really need support from mum, and I'm at the position now where they're old enough to be able to be fully present with them and what they're doing. And so, we're just gonna do that.
Sounds awesome. Last question.
Yep.
Describe Nick Bartie in one word. You might want to think about it, but if you could describe yourself, Nick, in one word, what would that one word be?
Oh my God.
You know, think really about it, because, you know, there are so many one words I could describe myself, but we'll save that for another podcast because there's not enough time today. While she's thinking about it again, those details are on the screen if you want to join co-creators. Applications close this coming Saturday, and while you're at it, don't forget to follow us on all our social platforms. All right, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our YouTube channel, right, whānau? The BODGAST this week proudly brought to you by Impact Hub South Waikato. All right, Nick, one word. I love this. The fact that you've probably had about 1 million words go through your head at the moment.
Yeah, I have. But I'm also like, if I say one word, I'll be like, oh, that's so, like, why would you say that? But,
okay, let's go 2 words then.
Even then, I'm like,
okay, let's stay at 1 word then. One word. One word.
There's so many, like, different, like, I have, like, 5 personalities. So I feel like I've got 1 word for, like, every kind of personality. But, I think I don't know.
Last week's guest used the magical as her word.
That's pretty cool. That's a good word.
And, you know, for me, like, it can be any word as long as, you know what.
I'm just gonna say ting.
Ting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Ting.
Ting. 1 word, ting. And if you don't know what that means,
co-creatives is where is that?
Co-creatives. Or you can just follow Nick on Insta.
Yeah.
And then ask her or send her a message and she'll tell you what that means.
For sure.
Like that. Well, Nick, nice to have you in studios. Hopefully this is not the first and last visit.
No, for sure. This place is so cool.
Not too many people know.
I want to come back.
It's where the magic happens, Nick.
Can I have a bit more than 20 minutes notice next time?
You did awesome, though. You did absolutely fantastic. And I'm not sure how long we've gone for, but we've gone for quite a bit. So,
cool.
you know, like it's all about collaboration.
Cut a lot of that out.
No, we won't be cutting anything out, Nick. We'll keep it all. We'll keep it all. But anyway, yep, thank you for coming in and joining us on the podcast. It's been fantastic, and it's good for us to know you a little bit more, and let's catch up real soon, all right?
Yes, thank you for having me, guys.
There we have it, Whānau Vibers, episode 6 of the podcast. I am Dr. Fresh. Join us next week where we catch up with another person doing amazing things in our community. Until then, take care.
Podcast. Dr. Fresh. Podcast. Podcast, Dr. Fresh.